You are Locked On Hurricanes POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, everyone, everywhere. Yeah, baby. What is happening, Hurricane fan? My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and this is your Canes POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. How about those Miami Hurricanes? CANES, Canes, with a huge win tonight. Oh, man, the season is underway, and it is underway with a bang. What a win over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Came in number 6 in the country, Miami, number 10. The first start for Carson Beck. The first game as defensive coordinator for Corey Heatherton. Coming back with Reuben Bain and Mesidor, and that offensive line looking so good coming into the season. All the new weapons in the receiving core. How would they use the running game? Will Mario Cristobal learn how to manage a game and call timeouts properly? No, maybe not. But still, we have a win. 27-24, big one over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish tonight. Thank you so much for making us your first watch or listen every day. Myself, I come live with the postcast right after every single game, and our guy Alex Dono comes on every single day with your podcast. And it looks like we might have Alex right now. He's on a tight schedule doing the post-game show with WQAM in Miami on the flagship. So we're going to bring him right on here and just kick it with Alex Dono. This is your channel, brother. Oh, look at that perfect two-shot. Look at right behind me. Look at Malachi Toney. Oh, man,
it's beautiful.
What a win. Alex, the only thing I have to complain about is that the way that fourth quarter went, I was looking like I was dead on with that 34-14 prediction until things kind of fell apart. You know, everything got a little tight there for a while. The 3-and-outs started happening. The defense started looking a little lost. And I'm going, flashbacks to last year. But unlike last year, they held on. They made the big kicks down the stretch. They got the big defensive plays when they needed them. And, hey, Carson Beck engineers the game-winning drive in his first start as a Miami Hurricane. But most importantly, Alex Dono, Irish eyes are crying tonight in Miami.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about that. And I'm thrilled Miami was able to hold on because, Grease, I was sweating, as I know you were, during the fourth quarter of that football game when, Miami kind of made that 10-point lead disappear into a 24-24 tie. They had a 21-7 lead early in the third quarter after Miami scored on the opening drive of the third. And, yeah, listen, if you want to nitpick, obviously, the play calling got very conservative. I mean, Notre Dame knew what they had to do, and that was get some penetration at the line of scrimmage and bottle up Miami's running backs. But here was the difference, Grease. I mean, yeah, the game got very dicey because Miami did get conservative, but complementary football, which is something we didn't get enough of last year. I mean, the D is able to step up on that final defensive possession, and they're able to finally get that pressure, which was not consistent for most of the game, but they were able to get pressure and rattle CJ Carr on that final drive, get a sack, force the intentional grounding, and not to mention the clutch field goal that was made prior to that final defensive stand by Carter Davis.
Two of them, Alex, in the fourth. And so the other thing I want to talk about, Reuben Bain and Mesidor, obviously that last drive, they were just wild dogs getting after the QB. But how spoiled are we that an All-American defensive end can go out and get an interception off a tip ball thrown to a wide receiver on a bubble? Are you kidding me that Reuben Bain can go out there and make a play like that and then return it 12 yards, sets up the other field goal? Unbelievable.
Yeah, they were joking around. So right after that interception, where, like you said, he got like 12 yards on the return, he goes over to the sideline, and Jason Taylor, his defensive ends coach, says to him, "You couldn't score that touchdown there." Like he was, and that did, that after that change of possession, obviously it was a huge moment for Miami, and that ends up, those 3 points end up being a difference in this football game. And, it's unfortunate that Miami couldn't punch that into a touchdown, that they had to settle for the field goal there. But, all this, and I know I was talking about, the offense wasn't, really firing on all cylinders in the fourth quarter, but overall, Grease, Carson Beck had a heck of a game because I haven't forgotten that defense that he went up against, which is pretty similar. I know they have a different defensive coordinator, but pretty similar personnel-wise to what they had last year, including like 4 DBs who are going to be playing on Sundays pretty soon. Carson Beck played poised. He took care of the football, 2 touchdown passes, little over 200 yards, 0 interceptions was the big thing. And that was one of my keys to the game. I know it seems like an obvious key, but, Carson Beck didn't turn the football over. CJ Carr did. That was a huge difference. Miami wins the takeaway margin in this one. And that was, and boy, it wasn't his best throw of the night, but that throw that led to that one-handed CJ Carr grab, which I hear they're going to hang a picture of that in the Louvre. It was so amazing.
It sure
that was
was.
just an
Oh,
unbelievable play.
these receivers are exciting, Alex. These receivers are exciting, man. And you know what? Those two drives, the one that finished the first half and the one that started the second half, I know the 3-and-outs came after, and we had a stretch where Beck completed 12 in a row, but those drives give Shannon Dawson and this offense a lot to work with. And we knew Notre Dame wouldn't go down easy, man. They're loaded, number 6 in the country, coming off a deep run last year.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And thankfully, Miami was able to find some success in the second half running the football. Marty Brown, the North Dakota State transfer. That young man is a player. I mean, he was the perfect type of running back for that sort of a game when you're trying to milk the clock down a little bit, move the chains. He scored that great touchdown where the entire offensive line basically helped push him a couple of extra yards into the end zone. So, yeah, I'm about to have to go on and do another spot here, Grease. So I want to thank you for having me, and thank you for all the amazing work. And listen, our jobs are a lot more fun after a finish and a win like that. And that's a signature win, Grease. The biggest win Miami Cristobal has had since he came to Miami. So let's enjoy this one.
All right, and one more thing. We're not letting you off that easy, Alex Donald. Got a huge audience right now that you have built with your bare hands. So, Alex Donald, what do you want to say to your people? What can they expect from you coming off this win with the content right here on Locked On Canes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hit it tomorrow whenever I wake up, because I got post game on radio till 2 a.m. So I might sleep till noon, or I might not sleep at all. Grease, I might just stay up all night. So at some point, late morning, early afternoon tomorrow, we're going to recap this thing, and I'm going to maybe watch the game, or maybe like the condensed game again tonight before I go to bed, or early this morning, and just kind of refresh my memory on some of the more obscure plays. And yeah, I'm going to have full takeaways and hopefully some deep insights tomorrow. And I definitely want to thank you, and I want to thank our audience here on the Canes postcast and on Locked On Canes for being so supportive during the off season. The season is back. Miami's 1-0, and I couldn't be happier right now.
Alex Dono, the host of the Locked On Canes podcast. This is the postcast with me, Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. Thank you so much, Alex. We love you day in and day out. The best content in the world for Canes fans. They were all clamoring for you in the chat room. You asked for them. You got them. Thanks again, Alex. Love you, brother.
Thank you all.
All right. That's Alex Dono coming live.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Meanwhile, for the rest of us with the smooth transition, look at that. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 27-24. How about this kid Carter Davis with the field goals late in this game? How about this kid all we hear about from these ESPN announcers all night long is, oh, he missed 5 out of 7 at FAU. It was a stone's throw from Miami. It's not even a real school. This kid won a battle in camp over a Texas transfer. He came on and showed everybody why he won that battle. What a battle it was, and what a job he did in this game. He kicks the field goals that win the game for the Miami Hurricanes, 2 of them late, that get the job done. What an unbelievable performance by this kid. Carter Davis, man. And look, we could go through the drives late in the game where the Hurricanes held stout defensively. Notre Dame's offense had taken all the momentum. The Miami offense couldn't get anything going. They had 4 drives there, including one where they kicked the field goal. After Bain picks off the pass, he ran out on a wide receiver screen on a tip ball and corralled it, returns it 12 yards, right? They kick a field goal. Didn't pick up a first down on that drive either. So they had gone like 10 plays for a total of 13 yards and still kicked the field goal only because of the Bain interception. And then they get the pass interference penalty on Christian Gray, one of those great defensive backs for Notre Dame, as Beck was going deep for Marion, and he was gone for a touchdown. Gray had no choice but to tackle him there, and that would have been a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But Miami had a tough time in the second half after that brilliant first drive, they come out, look, the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third quarter, back-to-back drives for a total of 13 minutes of game time. Are you kidding me? Chewing up the clock, beating up that Notre Dame interior on both sides of the ball. I had predicted a 34-14 Miami win on Locked On Canes with Alex Dono. As you know, because of the fact that Miami had such an advantage, or so I thought, up front on the offensive and defensive lines, which they do. And by the way, the number's really surging right now. So thank you for making us your first watcher listener of the day. Free right here on YouTube with the postcast right after the game. Then after this show, we upload, you download Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and Roku. You down with OPP? Hell no, I'm 53. OTT, over-the-top television. It is free. But in all my years covering the University of Miami, I'm an alum, class of 96, WVUM. I produced Butch Davis's TV show, Randy Shannon's TV show. I've been around the university for such a long time, seen so many of these big games early on in the year, Notre Dame games way back in the day, and it has that feel, doesn't it? It has that feel of the greatness that once enveloped and cloaked this entire program. It's why you see Michael Irvin and all them guys on the sideline, the first guy to run over and congratulate guys on touchdown receptions when they made them and made great plays, no doubt about it. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Got to keep it moving here. Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. The Miami Hurricanes with a brilliant job tonight as they defeat the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in their season opener. A 27-24 thriller. Carter Davis, a 47-yard field goal with 1:04 left, the go-ahead score. Carson Beck, 205 and 2 touchdowns in his debut. 9-play drive to seal the deal and win the game late. Reuben Bain, an interception on a beautiful play and a 12-yard return that led to another field goal from Davis in the fourth quarter. Malachi Toney had a touchdown catch, and so did CJ Daniels. Beautiful one-handed grab. Marty Brown, touchdown run for Miami as they outduel the freshman, CJ Carr, Notre Dame, 19 of 30 for 221 for Carr. All right, we have a lot to do when we come back, and this show is moving fast because we squeezed Alex in for you. So we merged the postcast with Locked On Canes a little bit here for you, as we'll do every Friday. I'm going to be on with Alex during the season. So Miami with the win, 27-24, still to come, the turning point. Still to come, your star of the game, and still to come, we look ahead to next week in Bethune-Cookman. Not really, but we have to say it. Anyway, Miami's 1-0. Miami's 1-0. Miami has beaten Notre Dame. 27-24 at Hard Rock. That's as much as you're going to see Hard Rock rocking. That place was rocking tonight. So thanks again to Alex Dono. Thanks to you for being here. We got a lot more to do. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, your Canes, CANES Canes, every day. Yeah, baby. And with that, I get a chance to tell you about Rugiet. How about Rugiet? You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis, right? Maybe you've even tried them. Who knows, right? I'm not here to judge. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Ready. That's right. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rugiet's 3-in-1 formula, it dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so be careful, but you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. So if traditional options haven't worked, Rugiet might be the answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch. I love that it's completely online. Rugiet connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships your treatment discreetly to your door. You can even read real customer reviews on their site. Helps a lot of people feel more confident and present in the moment, like the Hurricanes were on the field tonight. So do yourself a favor. Head to Rugiet.com/LockedOnCollege and use code LockedOnCollege to get 15% off today. That's Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege and use promo code LockedOnCollege for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rugiet website for full safety information. About Rugiet on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And tonight's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season a week away. The Dolphins and the Colts right around the corner. Oh, baby, going to see those Canes playing on Sundays too. And FanDuel is making sure you are ready. For kickoff with a can't miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy. Like I need a little more energy, right, to your Sundays. So are you ready to play? You download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet with FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, baby, yours every single day. Of course, I am Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. We just, of course, hooked up with Alex Dono, your host of Locked On Canes podcast, which is day by day the best content in all the land. I love Alex. I've known him forever. We used to work at 790 The Ticket back in 2008 when I think he was still in school at the University of Miami, but we're both alums. We got the bald head. We got the beard. People call us brothers from another mother, but you know what? I am honored to share these channels and these platforms with one Alex Dono. And as we get set for the squad shows, myself, Alex, former player, after every game, well then, yeah, that'll be dope. But in the meantime, I'll be on his show every week on Fridays. You got no job, you ain't got ish to do. And he'll be on with me after the games on the postcast. So 1-0, 27-20 for the final. And what a win for the Miami Hurricanes and Mario Cristobal. Can't really get to any comments in the YouTube right now. Love you guys so much. Keep them coming. Keep the mailbag coming. For Alex, a like, a sub, the bell, all those things for me right now are for him. It helps him with his show and his content. It helps him with his income, with everything with his channel. So please, please, please keep on subbing, keep on watching, keep on listening. We upload right after the YouTube show, and you download Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and then Roku, video version, over the top television. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. We got a couple things to do. I better get my butt moving, but still, we got time. Won't give me time. I want to make sure that I get this right for you guys here because you guys are the best fans in the world, and we deserve a winner. Long time coming. Last year with Cam Ward, we're like, oh, my God, it's amazing. He's bailing us out. The defense is bending, then the defense is breaking. 38 points a game last year, the defense, embarrassing for the University of Miami. They make the change to Corey Heatherton. They bent a lot tonight in the second half, but they did not break. Miami up 14-7 at halftime. A couple of Carson Beck TD passes to Malachi Toney and CJ Daniels. Beautiful. The freshman Toney was amazing. He was the go-to guy tonight. Daniels there there behind him. He had a beautiful one-handed grab for the touchdown. So 14-7 Miami at the half. And Notre Dame had really not gotten anything going on offense in the first half. And, you know, the touchdown pass that Carr threw in the first half, he was zigging, zagging, scrambling forever. Receivers had all day to get open because he was being chased and running for his life. And Beck's second TD pass capped a 6-minute plus drive. End of the first half, thing of perfection to Daniels. Miami's up 14-7 at the half. And then in the third quarter, Miami takes it right down the field, 7.5 minutes, 75 yards, 12 plays. They score again. And this time, you know, it's Marty Brown running it up the middle 5 yards for the touchdown. It's 21-7. Notre Dame sucking wind on both sides of the ball. Up front, Miami's manhandling them. And you're thinking, hey, this one is going to be a wrap pretty easily. But what happens in the third quarter? After that, into the fourth quarter, Miami doesn't get another first down. Miami goes 4 drives, 10 plays, 13 yards, while Notre Dame continues to drive and score. One difference, Notre Dame's third to last drive, Bain with the interception off a ball that was tipped 3 times, returns at 12 yards, Miami kicks field goal. Still didn't get a first down, but they kick a field goal. Then, yeah, and that was awesome, by the way. Carter Davis, first of 2. But the next thing that happens is Notre Dame drives down and scores again. They tie the game. Miami gets the ball back, and look, that's where Carson Beck leads the drive down the field. It wasn't a thing of beauty by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it really wasn't, right? If you're thinking about that drive, which you should be, you know, it really was not a thing of beauty, but it got the job done. I mean, it really did get the job done. So when you think about Carson Beck's first game, 205, 2 touchdowns, did he set the world on fire? No. Was it a better game than Arch Manning had? Hell yeah. Did they get the win? Hell yeah. I had to throw that out there. Oh, we put a red dot on everybody else. Yeah. Red dot, huh? Sure you do, Arch. Sure you do. But anyway, Miami late in the game, it looked a lot like last year. The defense looking confused, guys wide open all over the field. But when it had to be done at the end of the game, Carson Beck getting it done. And what a route by Marion. Gets open on Gray. He's going to beat him deep for a touchdown that would have won the game. And I had some anxious moments there with Notre Dame calling their timeouts, thinking of Mario wasting one in the second half, wasted two in the first half. Mario still, you know what I'm saying? But it just was crazy. But that pass interference on Christian Gray was really a backbreaker for Notre Dame. But he had to do it because he had him beat for a touchdown. And that's where Carson Beck just got it going with Marty Brown chewing up the clock. And Fletcher played well, Lyle, but Marty Brown, they found someone, like Alex said, in Marty Brown. All right, a couple quick things to do in a short time to do them in. We did a little bit of the podcast here on the postcast, so we can still kind of kick it just for a second longer. But two things to do real quick before we go. 27-24, Miami beats Notre Dame, and here is one of them.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Oh, man. The turning point of Carson Beck's first game as a Miami Hurricane leads to a game-winning field goal by Carter Davis from 47 yards out. And look, the defense, a couple of big plays after that. Bain, Mesidor, yes, to preserve it. But this drive that starts for the Miami Hurricanes, it ends with 104 with the Carter Davis field goal from 47. But it started with 3:21 left on a kickoff for a touchback, and Carson Beck with a 9-yard completion to CJ Daniels to start the drive on the 1st and 10, settled everybody down. They take the ball down the field, and they score to win the game. So obviously that's the turning point because that's when they scored to win the game, which leads me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Wow. See, you definitely have to give an honorable mention for player of the game to Carter Davis. Made the 2 field goals, the 47-yarder to win it in his first game as a Miami Hurricane, right? They had the botched hold and snap in the first half. By the way, Miami only scored 3 points off Notre Dame turnovers. They had the fumble in the first half, got no points. Interception in the second half, got 3. That's got to change. They should have blown Notre Dame out. I hope that these things get better as time moves on. But when you're looking for a star of the game, Carter Davis was phenomenal. You know what I mean? So you have to put him in there. Reuben Bain, Mesidor, that defensive front getting pressure. But the stars of the game, there are 2 of them tonight. And that would be the first one I'm going to throw up right now. And that would be, you know where we're going. Well, with one of them you do. But here's the first one. All right, there you go. How about that? You got Malachi Toney, the freshman receiver. 6 for 82 and a touchdown in his debut. And also star of the game has to be, drum roll please, Carson Beck in his first start as a Miami Hurricane. Completed 12 straight passes at one point. Had the touchdowns in the first half to Toney and to Daniels. In the second half, wasn't able to add one. Had some 3 and outs, could have really padded the numbers. But 20 of 31, 205, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a dub in his first start for Carson Beck as a Miami Hurricane. And of course, I had a graphic for the moment too, where he led the game-winning drive in his first start. So while you're here, I have to remind you, and I have to thank you again for being here, making us your first watch or listen every day with your Locked On Canes podcast and Alex Dono. After the games, myself with the postcast live on YouTube. After the YouTube show, upload, you download Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and of course, Roku. You know what I'm saying? You down with OTT, over the top television. You know me. Fletcher, by the way, 15 for 66. Marty Brown, 15 for 54. And the touchdown, the running game looking bruising. The offensive line looks very good. Pass pro, phenomenal. Running game, pretty good. Could improve there. But all in all, a very nice win for the Miami Hurricanes. Throw this up there one more time. Don't forget, smash that subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we're coming your way with more content. Come on into the comments and leave us some remarks in the chat. There'll be comments later. We'll get back to you if we can, but we appreciate you guys. You always have that forum in there to talk to each other as well. 27-24. There is Toney going in for the first score of the night. There he is behind me. Oh, look at it. Sold out Hard Rock Stadium. 27-24, the final. Your Miami Hurricanes. Next game for Miami will be Saturday, the 6th of September, and that will be at home against Bethune. After that, it's South Florida, and then you go back-to-back, Florida and Florida State. Florida State games on the road. So Florida State with a big win over Alabama. Things are restored in the universe where teams come down to Florida and get their butts whipped to start the season. Alabama did it against FSU. And of course, Miami beats Notre Dame, and we'll get Florida State. Don't you worry when we play them. Florida's looking good this year too. This could be a special year for the Hurricanes. Step one, and a very big step out of the way toward every goal, the playoffs, the national title, all those things, the redemption of Carson Beck. One down, many more to go, but one down, and it is a big one. Irish eyes are not smiling on South Beach tonight. 27-24, the final. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Thank you so much for being here and for watching/listening to your Canes postcast. Before I go, another big moment for Locked On College Football fans. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff. How dope is this, right? Your ultimate college football weekly preview. And it is Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leading the conversation. He's with two-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. It's a college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Keep on coming back after every game. It's the postcast. Day in and day out, it's the podcast with Alex Dono. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. This has been your Canes postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, 27-24, Miami the win. We'll be back next week after that Bethune-Cookman game. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, proud alum, class of 96, thanking you so much for being here and reminding you to always keep your game tight and your mind right, Hurricane fans. I am out.